The European Arab Youth Congress 2012 took place in the Academy of the Konrad-Adenauer-Stiftung in Berlin. 150 young leaders came together to talk about challenges and hopes 1 year after the Arab Spring. Hans-Gert Pöttering, chairman of the Konrad-Adenauer-Stiftung, spoke to Egyptians, Palestinians, Tunisians, Spaniards, Germans and Belarusians, just to name some of the participating countries. Pöttering, also former president of the European Parliament, said,
"The Berlin Wall, the Iron Curtain and communism fell. German unity and European integration were made possible. The events and developments that are currently changing the Arab world remind us of the historical events that changed our continent at that time. That is why we have been following the events taking place in the Arab world with great interest and empathy. German unity was only possible before our neighbors in the east, the Polish, the Latvians, the Estonians, the Lithuanians and all the others shared with us the same values. And without this, German unity would not have been possible. And so we are united in the European Union now with our values, and this is the most important.
His speech was followed by a panel discussion with several personalities, such as the former president of the Republic of Latvia, Vaira Vike Freiberger, Anwar Esmat El Sadat, co-founder of the Reform and Development Party in Egypt, and Mohammed Taufik Moulin, general director of the Royal Institute for Strategic Studies in Morocco. There was an intense debate about the current situation in Egypt. The young leaders expressed their concerns over the lack of influence youth is having there at the moment.
The parliament was elected in a times where people were being shot at for almost a week. It's not democratically the period now. We are in a period where it's very traumatizing.
Let's hear his answer.
I understand what she's saying.
In the afternoon and the following day, the participants were divided into groups. Here they could focus on a certain topic, such as the relationship between Muslims and Christians, Germany's role in Mediterranean affairs, or social media and politics and society.
Dialogue is very important, and every community must articulate itself in a clear way. We have to know more from one another. We have to talk to one another. We have to meet.
It's very important to be in these kind of forums or congresses because it's the only chance we have, personally I coming from Spain, to get the feedback and the opinion of people from these regions who are really affected by these revolutions, these new developments. So for me it's always very interesting because you get the information from the very first hand.
My wish is that decision makers, NGOs, organizations who are attending this conference, who are listening about this conference, would listen to what young people here have to say and what problems they're facing and what's their views about specifically the topic of the Arab youth and the dialogue between young Arabs and Europeans.
We just now at the moment discussed what relationship is, what is dialogue, and what can we do in community area, in religious aspects, and also in politics aspects.
So I think it's very helpful, very useful for me personally, and also in my capacity as chairperson of the Human Rights Committee in the Parliament. And I hope listening to them today that might open up ideas for us to try, to apply when I'm back home.
And it's not just the people from the Arab countries or the Middle East just going to European countries to learn the best practices, but it's the other way around, just understanding really what it is and how it's work on the ground so that we can know action points and we can know how to improve and move forward.
The Konrad-Adenauer-Stiftung engages in fostering democracy, the rule of law and social market economy. In this sense, this international congress is a logical consequence of its efforts in the European-Arab dialogue.
I think it's very important that the generation who is getting ready to take over responsibility is getting into contact with each other and get to know each other. And I think we do have to do this with young people. Because to speak the truth, somebody who is my age and who is not a Democrat is not likely to become one. But with young people, you can talk about the ways for the future, and it's going to touch them.
Bye.